Welcome to the Big Fat Real Estate Checks podcast with Marco Kozlowski, where we help investors like you get the knowledge and skills you need to replace your JOB with passive cash flow for life.
Hey everyone, welcome to Big Fat Real Estate Checks. I am joined today with Francesco Galluccio and Gabriella Raish, and my name is Marco Kozlowski. And of course, this is a podcast where we give you as much information as possible that you can apply immediately and have fun with. And my two compadres are joining me from Palm Beach, where Gabrielle is today. And Frank, I think, is no longer living at my house, but now back in his home in Toronto, where he can hug and kiss his kids and his wife and do whatever else is going on with his wife. Frank just changed his...
I just did, yes. I just did change my camera. I'm
getting
getting a better angle. I'm trying to look at myself. I don't look good on that angle. Camera two, please. Camera two.
And, we're going to need a lot more cammers than that, man.
You're going to have to go to camera 6, I think, because... by the way, happy birthday, Francesco, for surviving 50 years on this planet and blessing us with your presence. Always good to have you alive and kicking and thriving, and allowing your good energy to really help and impact a lot of people.
I appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Half century club.
Half century, yeah. Like my kids say, Dad, you're 5 decades old. I go, well, if you put it that way, it does sound very old. Even the half a century, I go, well, whatever. I'm blessed. I feel good, so it's all good.
You're as healthy as a 3-decade-old, so
yeah,
it's all
there
good.
You go. There you go.
Exactly. And for those that have not yet stumbled across our podcast, and this is a new experience for you, please listen to the first 10, episode 1 through 10, where we discuss asset-based lending and how we use skills to buy property, cash flowing property specifically, and not money. In fact, we had a closing yesterday where we bought a 600-unit not multifamily. It could be a multifamily. It can be converted into pretty much anything, but a 600-bed assisted living facility, which when completed, it could be anywhere between $50 to $100 million asset that we picked up for $325,000. Absolutely crushed it. And David pulled out $72,000 at closing as well. So not only did he not bring any money to the closing table, he got paid to buy it, which is exactly what we teach.
Bravo,
David, Dr. David. And speaking, I think we're going to be just, since we're talking about time and birthdays, I know we had something scheduled for today to discuss, but maybe we should go into the time value of equity and the time value of equity. I know it's timely considering we discussed your birthday and discussing and having a relationship with sellers. In fact, that is how David got this deal. Is through persistence and building time equity with the agent on another deal that brought him to this one, which was an off-market asset that he was presented in short form. So let's just shift gears a little bit. I know that's not what we have slated for today.
It is what we have slated today.
Oh, well, shit.
It was.
What am I talking about?
There you go. That was a good segment.
Your timing was perfect, and you ruined it.
It's all good. I didn't ruin it. It's all good.
One day I will remember what we're supposed to talk about because I'm getting older.
Couple of months, Marco. Couple of months.
Few more months.
I'll be older than dirt too. So yeah. So Frank, since you're the birthday boy, let's talk about that real quick on the equity of the time equity that we invest with properly invested. I'm going to say this: properly invested time also builds equity. So that's kind of the theme for today.
Absolutely. You know what? It's an intangible asset that you have. Whether you're speaking with the seller or the agent, having that conversation or a series of conversations over time, like quality conversation. Now, not all of them are going to be quality, but as long as you're moving the needle forward with that individual and getting to a solution together, I think is an intangible asset that, it's valuable to you as a buyer, and it's going to be valuable to the seller or the agent. I went through that with the hotel, pre-COVID 3 years ago. Started the conversation. Did it start off quickly? It wasn't rapid. It was just slow moving, but still moving forward in that process. And yeah, I dedicated time and effort, and so did the seller. And fast forward 3 years, ended up closing on it.
It's drop by drop.
Yeah.
drop by drop.
It is. It is a drip, I guess, concept, and it's strategic. It's you're not just hopping on the call just to hop on the call with that individual. It's you're trying to find solution, and like you teach, Marco, is everything when we do call, it's with intent. It's planting seeds, and hopefully that the seller will see from your side, and you come to some kind of resolution together, mutual resolution that you're both satisfied with.
It's not always a call too. It could be just as simple as a
absolutely
by email. Yeah,
absolutely.
It, not only you're saying a lot of things as a new listener. I'm always listening as someone that doesn't really know what the hell we're talking about. You've said a lot of very strategic things in there, but if I can try to distill it, I know, Gabe, you're about to talk here. I'm sorry to have interrupted you. We're really building relationships. We're not in the. I know we're buying hotels and assisted living facilities and multifamilies and mobile home parks and a whole bunch of other shit. But at the end of the day, it's a human that controls that asset and has control over what price we're going to buy it for and which offer they're going to present in the best light if it's an agent. And it's all done with relationships, and we're very strategic in nature with our relationships and authentic in those relationships. We're not being strategic to be malicious. There are very specific processes to build trust, to build an understanding that we're not trying to steal a property. We're trying to really get a good deal for all parties. Gabe and I were having a conversation when Frank's technical issues took over before this. We're only an hour and a half late in doing this. Partly my fault, mostly Frank's fault. But just kidding.
I'll take it.
No, it's mostly my fault. I had a difficult day yesterday. But anyway, so there's someone that's selling something, and we're trying to figure out a way how to take care of the seller when the seller really doesn't expect anything. So it's just creating valuable relationships and time equity in those relationships that are really going to pay off handsome dividends. But our intention is not necessarily to get something in the back end. It's authentically create a relationship because we know that relationship will yield into just a great relationship or perhaps great business in the future. But it's not about the business, it's about the relationship. That's what comes first. Go ahead, Gabe. Sorry, I had to say that before I lost my little choo-choo train of thought.
No, it's okay. I mean, all I was going to add is that, because Frank kept mentioning calling and that there is a process where you can do this also by email. So if you're not comfortable talking on the phone, that's, it shouldn't stop you from doing this, or it couldn't stop you from doing this. The whole process is about following up, I guess, at the end of the day, right? That's what it is. It's, you plant your seed, and that could be just an initial discussion. It could be by email again with a seller or broker, making them understand where you're coming from, that you have the capital and that you can get what they want. So if it's a broker, what do they want? They want a commission. So they want to sell a property. And so if you buy something, they get paid. So if they know that you can buy something because you have the financial capacity to do so, then they want to work with you. If you're discussing directly with the seller, then you have to understand why they're selling the property and what's going to get them to the next step. And you're going to focus on that and help them get there. But that's not always going to happen on the first try. It's just like anything else. It's you're going to have to keep following up and asking what's going on. And if someone hasn't sold their property after your first discussion, your second discussion, your third discussion, and you're in like 3-4 weeks in, eventually they'll figure out that they're not selling it, and you're the only one who's coming back and back and back. They'll eventually talk to you, and then once they talk to you, they'll be in the right frame of mind that's necessary for them to be able to listen to you and hear you, so that a win-win deal can be created. So sometimes it's just a question of timing, where the seller or the broker, it's not the right time for them because they're focused on something else. And when I say focused on something else, it's focused on, for example, if they have a price in mind because they just listed it for X million dollars, their focus is on that number, is not on listening to you and your solution. They don't feel like they need a solution. They feel like this is what they feel it's worth. So with time, and this is where the time equity comes in, is with time where they keep talking to you and they keep seeing that you're coming back and they're seeing time pass, then all of a sudden the focus shifts from the price to finally hearing you out. And once they're in that frame of mind of being able to hear you and listen, we talk about active listening so much, but it has to happen on the other end at one point for this to come to fruition, right? So this is how the time is invested.
Actually, even on when Marco and I purchased the mobile home park, so there was a partnership that it ran its course, and they were all getting divorced per se, and they were trying to dissolve it. And from a seller perspective, their time equity was they don't want to post it on the MLS, get a realtor, this and that. They came back to us, and since we already closed on a previous property with them a few years prior, so they came back to us in respect for time equity. They didn't want to go through all the hoops and all that to sell the last remaining asset within the partnership. So from a seller perspective, sometimes their time equity is let me go to people that I know that already closed and have cashed in on their province that they can close with the cash, and everything went semi-quasi smoothly on that one anyways. But well, it did. It kind of broke down a few times, but it happens. But they went through that experience, and now they go, let me go back to this individual and see if they want this last remaining property so we can move on.
I just want to add two things to that. You gave me two ideas. Also, one of the mobile home parks that we did buy together, there was an existing lender that was a partner that was screwed over, and his money was already parked in that property. And we got him to leave the money in because it was non-performing, and we turned a non-performing asset into a performing asset without him having to take the cash out. So his time equity was already there. The money was already placed. He just wanted to see a return and deal with someone that would actually take care of him, right? So it comes back to time and equity actually meeting at this point, and the human meeting like in a perfect triangle at that point. We're in the middle of looking at selling multifamilies because it's a really good time to sell some of our assets right now because we can get premium prices. That's why we're not, we don't buy retail, and if we can sell above retail shit, we're going to do it right now. And Gabe and I were having a discussion, and there's no question that we're going to use a specific agent because he knows his shit. He's taking very good care of us, and there's no shopping around for another agent. He's already built his time equity with us, and we don't want to have to vet another person. We don't have to want to go somewhere else. And as you were saying, Frank, extremely well, is follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. We've said this, I believe, in multiple other podcasts, and in my class, and I think I say constantly, is the fortune is in the follow up. A diamond is not made immediately; it's made with time, heat, and pressure. And as sellers change their mind, and as you're always communicating with them, saying, "Hey, I have cash. I want to buy right now." Not at this price, move on, and keep just putting that pressure, time, and heat. Eventually, that pays handsome dividends as well. I think a big element is patience.
Yeah.
Patience. Patience. Yes, patience. Right. Yeah. Patience pays. Right. Patience. But just even with stocks or anything, you buy low, sell high. It takes patience to get to that spread. It's
time
not
is your friend. Yeah.
Time is extremely valuable, and you have to use time as your ally in the right way, because I'm not talking about procrastination now. I'm talking about actually understanding how to harness time to your benefit, or fold time to your benefit as well. Gabe, Frank.
Well, just on the folding time, that's the reason I got into this, and that's the reason I got you, Marco, as a mentor, is to fold time.
I got you too, Frank. I got you too,
Frank.
We got each other.
So yeah, you want to full time because time is precious. You're not going to get it back. We don't know how long we're going to be here for, and when you have an idea or an objective or a goal, you want to attack it as quickly as possible. And sometimes that's not doing it on your own. It means getting outside help, someone like a mentor or a teacher, someone that's done it, or a JV partner that's more experienced than you are, to fold that time. So. That's definitely time equity, and if you use it wisely, your time, you can accomplish a lot in short amount of time period. Like, look at all these wealthy people; they have they have 50 businesses, or 20 or 30, and they still have the same 24 hours as we do, but yet they manage multi-million-dollar businesses, and some of us struggle to manage one. That's the thing.
You're right.
What did Elon Musk just buy Twitter for?
Yeah,
exactly.
44 billion. Yeah.
Something bananas. Frank, I don't know if your microphone is if you have the right mic setting on your computer. Just checking. Just want to make sure. You sound a little echoey.
Yeah, I do.
We're gonna keep.
I do.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And with the time equity, just understand that it's time equity for a reason. It's not always going to work out. They're not always going to come back to you, but it just takes the one or two that come back to you, and then you can get these you'll get these amazing win-win deals that could set you ahead for a long time. So that's why it's time equity. It's not going to be all the time, but it's worth doing every time for the one or two or more over a lifetime that will come your way.
86% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
That's right.
All right. Well, I hope you get the point. So I'm a listener. What do I action? Give me one thing to do here. I'm in my car. What's the one thing that I can do to really increase my value, my wealth, my situation using this information that we discussed today?
I think you need to do a couple of things. First of all, is always treat every opportunity by understanding the other person, the human behind whatever that opportunity is, and understand what it is that they want, and then follow up. They're not going to say yes. I mean, if they say yes right away, then I think we've been over this, that you're probably putting yourself in a terrible situation. But follow up. Keep following up, and eventually, whether it's this opportunity or another, if you keep doing this every single time, one or two will come back your way, and then you'll be able to structure something really interesting for everyone.
Frank, I do want to ask you this, but you said something I really don't want to forget because of my ADHD. Also have clarity as to what they need and clarity as to what you need, so you can create the best deal for both. That's something that many are not clear on, like what constitutes a deal or something that you can do or make a promise on. Many make offers or commitments that they can't honor for whatever reason. And you just throw something out there, which is cool. That works, some of the time, but I don't want you to get lucky. I want you to have skill and understand what you can do and what they need. And if someone really needs to sell something or do something, and there's a little bit of flexibility on either terms or price or, anything. Like, I'll go back to what Gabe and I were talking about earlier. Someone wants to sell something. They're not going to get any money up front. They'll get money in the back end, or they'll get nothing. So you can get nothing, or you'll get some money later. What's better? Like, we'll get nothing anyway, or we'll take over the problem and you get money later. Or you get nothing. What do you want?
Yeah.
Nothing.
A chance at something or nothing. Yeah. Exactly.
And which is time equity, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to wait for your equity. There you go.
Yeah. Well said.
Frank.
No, I was just going to add, just to wrap it up, basically, is the patience. I know a lot of people, whether you're doing real estate or any business venture, you get anxious. And sometimes that anxiousness clouds your clarity and your focus on what you really want, because you want to get it there quick, or you want to achieve that very quick. And it can happen with the right people, but there's got to be patient in there. And I know it's sometimes hard to to put that emotion aside and just go through the process. And at the end of the process, you will achieve it if you have the right team and the right mindset to achieve that goal.
Can't rush baking a cake.
There you go.
And if you have the right recipe from the right person, you're going to go back to that person for the best cake, because they gave you the equity and the value that is necessary for you to thrive. So there you go. Appreciate you both very much. And you, the listener, like it, love it, share it, subscribe, do whatever it takes. I'm always pleased to receive a 5-star review. We'd like to get to 2,000 as quickly as possible. And we appreciate you sharing this with your friends or frenemies, anyone that you want to share growth with. I believe that if everyone had everyone else's best interest at heart, imagine what kind of society that would be in. If we all wanted just to give and just want to give as much value as possible, none of this shit would be happening in the world right now. And kind of our little project to make as many humans as successful as possible and as happy as possible, doing what you love, not doing what you have to. So appreciate you very much, both of you, and you as well, the listener. I guess all thrice of you, or four. I know I'm going to make it weird if I keep talking. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Can't wait to see you on the next podcast. Bye for now.
If you like this episode of Big Fat Real Estate Checks, then show some love by leaving a comment and a good rating. Also, as a thank you for tuning in today, we've got a special free gift. The journey to passive cash flow for life starts by finding deals, and it's easier than you think. Simply go to getdealsbytuesday.com, enter your email address, and we'll send you a free quick start course called Deals by Tuesday. Even if it's 11 p.m. Monday night, this course will show you how to find discounted real estate deals by Tuesday. It's that fast and simple. Go to getdealsbytuesday.com and start your journey toward life-changing cash flow today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.